And call the meeting to order. First one, pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, next item is approval of 2020 minutes. July 2020 minutes.
I make a motion that we accept the minutes as written.
Okay, do I have a second?
I second it.
Okay, do I have a motion and a second? Any discussion? Not, all in favor? Okay. Next item is approval of July's general operating financial report.
I make a motion that we accept the financial report.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor? Okay. All right, down to old business court system. I guess we're still waiting.
So Jeff had sent them an initial draft contract. The judge had requested a couple changes on it that were minor that we didn't see any issue with. So he made those changes, sent it back out to the judge and county attorney about a week and a half ago. So we're just waiting on their thumbs up that it's good to go. And once it is, we can bring it before the council and make a decision on it.
All right. All right, good enough. Main Street parking still really haven't done anything on that, so we'll try to get something done by next month on that. So under new business, approval of rail car and reimbursement for me, but basically what it should have said for fencing. In our railroad lease, it says that we put up a metal fence, you know, to prevent anybody getting on the live track. So I found on the marketplace 15 sections of aluminum fencing, black fencing, for $20 a section.
Wow.
So I bought that for $300, and so.
I make a motion that we reimburse. Oh.
You need let somebody else make that motion.
Oh, yeah, I do.
Because you can't.
I can't make that one. So.
Yeah. But anyway, I asked him if he'd take a check, and he wouldn't. So I said okay. So I drove down at 7 o'clock and got there at 7 o'clock that morning because there was a lot of people wanting them. So I got them. So I've ordered the post from Home Depot, so they're supposed to be here next week. So maybe in a week or two we'll have that up like they want us to. So anyway, do I have a motion?
No motion.
Okay. All right, Bud makes a motion. Do I have a second?
I second.
Okay. All right, we'll have a motion second. Any discussion? And it was $300, yeah. All right, no discussion. All in favor? Okay. All right.
Buffy, please make sure that I abstain from voting so that people know I didn't vote to give you money.
Yeah.
Was it going the
On the other side of the train cars.
Oh, okay.
Because that was
I
part
got
of
you,
our agreement with them, so people couldn't
Yeah.
step off the side and get onto the live track.
Now, the next one is, you know, like I say, the problem we have, and I don't know, I haven't been able to talk to them, James, you might have some insight on this too, is when I buy stuff for the SPLOST projects, I use the current credit card. Well, that comes out of the general funds.
Then you have to reimburse.
Yeah, so I don't know if we need to, and that's the only reason I asked, is do we need to clean that up and make it more streamlined? Smaller stuff that I have to pay for from Home Depot stuff can be off that debit card versus having to reimburse and, you know, credit cards. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but I mean, I was just trying to make it more streamlined because it does.
I think it's something that needs to be done. I mean, because it'll make it much easier for the auditors, it makes it much cleaner for us when we're trying to balance, that way we know what was spent where without having to go back and look at the credit card statement.
How's that set up at the bank? Is the SPLOST fund?
Well, it's
It's
just
just a
that,
deposit only,
Yeah.
transfer,
well, deposit and we got a check
Checking
for,
account.
checking
a
account.
checking account.
Yeah, out of that, so.
Have you asked if you can get a debit card?
Well, I'm pretty sure we can, I just.
You can.
But like I say, and we might have to make a resolution to do that, at the next meeting, but, I just wanted to see if y'all was, and I'll ask them to
I'd
see
be
how.
good with that. I think that would be a good idea.
Okay. Let me just make sure what we need for that, if we need to make a resolution to do that.
If you do, I've got that one saved on the computer,
So,
just change it.
So I'll ask them and then we'll, motion to move this to old business next month.
I make a motion that we move the debit card for SPLOST, item to our September meeting.
Okay, do I have a second? Okay, I have a motion second, any discussion? If not, all in favor? Okay, the last discussion on millage rate. Our millage rate is one meal, right? And, most everybody's, even everybody in Meadowlands except the Barons right there in the front. Everybody's taxes are way lower, outside of Meadowlands especially, way lower than it costs for garbage, the garbage service. So I've talked to some of the residents and they said they, besides getting charged $15 a month or quarterly, the 3 months quarterly, they would rather just raise the taxes and then that way at the end of the year they just pay them and not have to worry about making another payment. So the reason I'm discussing this is we'll have to have some public hearings and stuff, and we normally send out the tax bills in October. So that's the reason I'm discussing it tonight.
Yeah, but when is that form due at the state? Are you wanting to do it this year?
Oh, is that form you guys?
Yeah, it was laying right there.
Yeah, but
It has to be back by a certain date, I think. Is there a date on there? I can't remember, I was thinking it was, but.
well, we might not be able to raise this year. I didn't.
Well, if there's not a specific date on there, we should be able to get it done. All we have to do is have 2 public hearings, I believe it.
There's a timeline on the notice requirement and how far apart the hearings have to be as well that we would need to look at to make sure that you've got time to get that done before October.
I was thinking it's like 14 days or something in between the meetings, I was thinking.
And is there a timeline between when we pass that? If we got it done this year, would we be able to say, because we're up on September, if we do this in September, are we still going to be able to go by that new millage rate in October?
Yes, as long as you got the hearings in
Okay.
as required, as long as the publication notice and the hearings. So we can look at, to make sure that we have time for that if we get moving on it now.
So this says right here, it says, I hereby certify the rates listed above are the official rates for the districts indicated for the tax year 2019.
That's the wrong form. That's the old form. We should be getting a new one.
Right, so
Yeah. But usually we have it by July. That's what I'm saying. It may be in an email. You may want to check and see if you get something from the Department of Revenue.
It also may be delayed along with.
Yeah, and that may be something, I'll look at, that may be something we can pull offline and do, and so I'll look, I'll check on it and see.
Okay, so,
I make a motion that we raise the millage rate and that we begin the process in order to be able to follow state guidelines to do that.
now do we need to go ahead and set the dates for those public hearings, or can we do that?
Let us send y'all something on how far apart they have to be and how much notice. We can look at that tomorrow and get it to you since we're on kind of a short timeline. But I would amend your motion just to, not to raise the millage rate, but to start the process of advertising and hearings for a potential raise.
Okay, then I make a motion that we start the process of discussing and having public hearings to discuss the possibility of an increase in millage rate.
Okay. Second?
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second, any other discussion? If not, all in favor? Okay. All right, that being all the business that we have on hand, does anybody else have anything? On the, I didn't look, on the September the 3rd, is that a Monday? I just want to make sure it's, no, it's on
That was a Thursday.
Thursday, so. When is-
It's the Thursday before Labor Day.
Okay, so Labor Day's on the 7th?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, so everything's still good. Is everybody gonna be in town for that? Okay. All right, so if nothing else,
I make a motion we adjourn.
okay? Okay, all right.